Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about how you can create your own 10-step skincare routine. So if you haven't already watched how you can create your own 4-step skincare routine, please go and watch that one first because we are going to take the 4 steps from that and incorporate them into the 10-step routine that I'm going to be talking about today. So before we get into the actual skincare portion, I just want to talk about why you would want to have 10 steps in your skincare routine. Of course, if you don't want to have 10 steps in your skincare routine, you definitely do not have to. I personally really like having 10 steps in my skincare routine, but there are some days where I don't do all 10 steps because sometimes I'm running late, sometimes I just feel too tired or too lazy to do all of them. So this is definitely not meant to be a video where I'm telling you that you must have 10 steps in your skincare routine and they must be exactly what I tell you to do, because everybody's skin is so different, so it's impossible for me to tell you exactly what skincare things are going to be right for you. So step 1 is using an oil cleanser or a makeup remover. This step is from the original 4-step beginner routine because you should always be using a makeup remover if you are wearing makeup or sunscreen. Because even if you're not wearing makeup, if you're wearing sunscreen, you are going to need to remove it before you actually cleanse your skin. I use the Body Shop Chamomile Waterproof Eye and Lip Makeup Remover for my eye makeup because I find that is the best way to remove my eye makeup. And then I use the Holika Holika Seed Blossom Moisture Cleansing Oil for the rest of my skin. And obviously I really like this one because it's in a huge bottle and I've got like the tiniest amount left. So this is a really nice one for me, and this one works really well on my eyes because it gets the eye makeup off but it doesn't irritate them, because of course I wear contact lenses quite a lot. My eyes can get really dry and sore. So always remember to take off your makeup and your sunscreen. The next step also stays the same, and that is to use a low pH cleanser. I'm not going to go too much into this because otherwise the video is going to be super long, but I absolutely love the Sun 37 Miracle Rose Cleansing Stick. Step 3 is to use an exfoliant. There are 2 ways that you can exfoliate your skin. You can use a physical exfoliator or a chemical exfoliator. I'm not going to go into chemically exfoliating because that is a bit more advanced, I would say, and I don't feel like I personally have a good grasp on what makes a good chemical exfoliant and how to do it, so I don't want to be teaching you guys something that I'm not absolutely sure of, so I still use physical exfoliants. I find that these work best for my skin, but I can't have something that's too abrasive because my skin is a little bit sensitive. So my favourite is the Lush Angels on Bare Skin Fresh Facial Cleanser. So this has ground up almonds and they are not spiky at all, they are soaked and then ground, so you cannot feel anything spiky. It just feels like almost soft clay when you cleanse your skin with it, and that just helps me exfoliate off any dead skin cells that are still sort of sticking to my skin. Now this step is something that you do not need to do every day, so this is why your skincare routine may not necessarily have 10 steps in it every single day. Most people recommend using an exfoliator 2 to 3 times a week. But if your skin is a little bit sensitive, it's best to start off with a smaller amount, maybe 1 time a week, and then you can build it up if your skin can tolerate it. You really don't want to over exfoliate your skin, so exfoliating your skin every day or twice a day is going to make it really red and raw. And sometimes it is really difficult to tell if you've over exfoliated because it happens so slowly that your skin sort of feels the same. But if your skin is feeling dry, tight and a little bit sore after you exfoliate, potentially you are doing it a little bit too much. Step 4 is using a toner, and my favourite toner at the moment is the J. Green Moist Toner. It smells like lavender, so nice. As a child, I was always taught to cleanse, tone and moisturize, but the toners that I used to use as a teenager were so horrible. They smelled like alcohol and they felt like they were stripping your skin. And for me, I thought toners were meant to remove any excess oil or dirt or just pretty much strip everything off your skin. But in the Asian beauty world, toners are used for softening, nourishing, hydrating or prepping the skin for acids. So there are pH adjusting toners which bring your skin's pH level down so that your acids and chemical exfoliants can work better. But that's not something that I'm going to be talking about today. So toners are really good to use after you cleanse your skin because they prepare your skin better for the expensive serums and essences that you're going to use in the next step. So step 5 and 6 contain essences, serums and ampoules. You can use as many serums or essences as you like, and I think that is the great thing about the Asian beauty, and why I like it so much is because most serums really only have one function. So you'll have a serum for brightening, or you'll have a serum for nourishing, but you don't always get the serum that combines the two. So you can just use a little cocktail of what you would specifically want for your skin. So you may really want a serum that brightens and hydrates your skin, but you don't really care about lightening any scars, so you don't need a product that combines the two. Or you may really want to brighten up your scars, but you have oily skin, so you don't want an ultra hydrating serum. That serum's not really going to work so well for you either. So when you're layering up your serums and your essences, there is a particular order in which they should go. So to start with, we look at what type of product it is. If it's a first treatment essence, that comes first. Because it has first treatment in the name, it is designed to go before the other ones. After the names, we look at the product by consistency. If it has a thinner texture, it goes earlier on. The reason behind that is that the thinner products absorb quicker and they're easier to apply. So it's much faster if you use the thinner ones first. The choice in what serums and essences you use is entirely up to you, so I'm going to tell you a couple of functions of the ingredients that are going to be featured in the serums. So here are some popular ingredients and their functions. Vitamin C brightens, fades sunspots and age spots, repairs sun damage, increases the collagen production over time. Niacinamide brightens, fades sunspots and age spots, strengthens the skin's moisture barrier. Snail secretion or snail slime alleviates redness, treats pimples, speeds healing, repairs sun damage and evens out the skin tone. Arbutin brightens, fades sunspots and age spots by blocking the expression of melanin with long-term use. Yeast ferment or galactomyces brightens, fades sunspots and age spots, evens out skin tone, controls cell turnover and oiliness. Hyaluronic acid hydrates by attracting and binding water within the skin. Salicylic acid is a chemical exfoliant or a BHA, and that clears the pores, and it's used for the treatment of acne because it is anti-inflammatory. This requires a pH between 3 and 4 to be most effective. Glycolic acid is a chemical exfoliant or an AHA, and this smooths the skin's surface for treatment of acne. This requires a pH level of 3 to 4 to be effective. There are a fair few different types of products, so it's really good to do your homework before choosing your serums and essences. These are the ones that are most effective in doing things like brightening or fading sunspots or hydrating the skin, so picking the one that is best suited to you can take a little bit of a time. So I definitely recommend trying out a bunch of little samples before you buy them. Step 7 is using sheet masks or wash-off masks. Masking is a great way to add extra benefits for your skin. If you're using a wash-off mask, I would use that after you wash your skin but before you start using your toners, whereas if you're using a sheet mask like these, they go after your serums and ampoules because it's basically a serum-soaked sheet. These sorts of products are real powerhouses for the skin, so if you're needing a huge boost of hydration, leaving these on for about an hour can really help your skin. If you're like me and you don't really like the feeling of wet things on your face, or if you have difficulty keeping them on your face, you should use a silicone sheet mask as well. So your silicone sheet mask cover looks like this. And they are really creepy, but really helpful. The reasoning behind wearing something like this is that it keeps the sheet mask sticking to your face, and you can eat, you can drink, you can talk without feeling like the sheet mask is going to fall off. You definitely do look like you've sort of pulled someone's face off. It's probably not the prettiest, but it is kind of funny. Step 8 is eye creams. Now you don't have to use eye creams if you don't want to, but I really enjoy using them because I definitely see extra benefits from using a specifically hydrating eye cream under my eyes. I have a little bit of fine lines now that I'm getting a little bit older, and I find that the eye creams plump them up really nicely, so they're definitely not as noticeable. So for the daytime I use the Ceracle Eye Contour Gel, and at night I use the Mamonde Age Control Camellia Oil. Step number 9 is using a moisturizer. So this stays the same as it did in the 4-step routine. But if you want to, you can always change around your moisturizers to have something a little bit more hydrating for the night and a little bit more oil controlling for the day if that's what your skin needs. And last but not least, step number 10 is sunscreen during the day or a sleeping pack at night. Now the sunscreen during the day is pretty vital, and that's not a step that you can miss out. I talked about this in the 4-step beginner routine, and I also have a video on how to stay sun safe throughout the summer. So please use your sunscreen. It really is not an option, but using a sleeping pack at night is optional. So a sleeping pack is used at night after your moisturizer. So obviously this is something that not everybody will need, but I generally like to use them during the winter. So I have the Maison Special Solution Good Night White Sleeping Mask, and I always love to travel with this because depending on where I go depends on what the climate's going to be, and if I'm going to a place where I haven't really visited it before, or if it's winter and it's really cold, bringing along something like that is a great way to add extra hydration to your skin if it dries out overnight. I have tried a couple of other sleeping packs, and some of them are really good and some of them are really not. Some of them are really sticky, so I feel like my hair sticks to my face, which I don't like, which is why I actually like this one better, because when you put it on it just feels like a moisturizer and it absorbs really quickly into my skin. But in general, even though they're called sleeping packs or sleeping masks, it doesn't mean that they're like a mask-like texture. In general, all of the ones that I've tried just feel like a moisturizer. So this is great, but this is not something that I use every night, only when my skin really needs it. And that is it for the 10-step skincare routine. Now, like I said before, you don't have to do all 10 steps if you don't really want to. I'm not telling you that you have to do it and then you'll have super beautiful skin. It all depends on what your skin is like, and your choice of products will also depend on what type of skin you have. So if you have dry skin, you can really tailor this routine so that you have a lot of hydration. Or if you've got really oily skin, you can also use products that are specifically made to help control oil. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.